Morning, everybody. It's Tuesday, Talk Tuesday. I'm going to be honest, I had not planned a topic because when I looked at the weather, it looked like it was going to be raining. And we all know my track record when it comes to phone and water. So, I had intended on doing a walk Wednesday, but the weather is nice enough today. Well, so far anyway. If the skies open up, I'm going to quickly throw my phone away. But in the meantime, we're here. What I'm hoping to catch, I tried to film this, I think last week. And I didn't have any luck with it. Phoebe, front. Thank you. Kronk, stop eating foliage. Was some body language moments. And when I see those, I will be sure to point them out. Phoebe, front. Thank you. But that's getting ahead of myself. So we're here, we're at the straight road. It's like random raindrop, meh weather. The mosquitoes appear to be quite pleased with it, which is unfortunate for us. How many, those who want the head count, I believe it's 12 today. So we've got one of our guests, forgetting my own dog's name, Murphy. Kronk up there, Archie and Stella, Phoebe, who else? I've got Cosmo, Nova, Tucker, Rosie and Hamish, and the tiny Terror, who hasn't been doing much tearing around yet, but hopefully we'll catch that too. Okay. Yeah, it's always awkward, and I've been thinking, like, up until now what my topic could be, and I'm just coming up dry. I'm not very inspired today. As I'm fighting with mosquitoes. Marlo out. Good girl. Hamish out. Nova also out. Everybody out. Thank you. Go, I'm coming. Get going, Cuzzy. Good boy. Kronk. That's enough. Okay, so what I was trying to film last week was asking to play body language. So there are different ways that dogs ask to play. Some are more rude than others, like some are very forward. Boston's, for example, typically, Kronk, out. Good boy. Yeah. It's almost like I have a reason for telling you to stop doing the thing. Oh, see, that was a good ask from Archie. And then Kronk just said no. Which is also kind of what I wanted to show you guys. It's not even necessarily just the ask, but if there's a refusal, what the proper... Rosie! Thank you! Oh! Sorry, he just dove face first into the weeds. So it's not just about the ask. And there are many breeds like Bostons or Boxers, power breeds in particular, tend to have a very different approach and body. Oh, terriers too. Where's Hamish? Very different body language in this ask than other breeds or even learned from somewhere. Like, just because your dog is a specific breed does not always mean that it speaks that breed. Sometimes if it's raised with a different breed, it speaks the breed that it's raised with. I hope that makes sense. So, like, all dogs speak body language, but there are certainly... Out! Thank you. There are certainly different dialects of it, depending on specific breeds. And some dogs are like more, we'll call it emotionally intelligent, so they can understand. Out, go. So they can understand other dialects, we'll say, a lot easier, and some dogs just refuse to see that. So when you're dealing with Archie, yuck, go boy. No, we're gonna leave that all the way out. Good. So that was some kind of rodent poop. that Archie is still a puppy, right? So he's still putting things in his mouth. So we just have to make sure that when he does, he understands it's a no. Okay, body language, dialects. Okay, so when a dog asks to play, and I really want to focus on Cosmo here. He was doing it so well not too long ago, but he's sort of given up. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen previous videos. If you have, then you'll know that, like, usually Cosmo and Kronk are, like, wrestling basically the whole time. Kronk is starting to hit that age where he's not really interested in, like, adolescent play anymore. Which is, it's always sad to see that, because it sort of, like, closes the chapter on puppydom. And now we're into starting to encroach on adult. So, but Cosmo still tries. And he can be a little more over the top than is necessarily polite, but because he has this standing relationship with Kronk and the other dogs here, the other dogs are more tolerant of it. They're giving me nothing today. I mean, they're showing body language, but not what I want to point out to you guys. I know, Kazi. No one to play with you today. That might change as soon as we turn around too. Because again, this is like the way away from the cars, so usually there's a lot more sniffing and stuff like that. And then once we turn around, there's more play and zoomies. Oh, okay, so I don't know if I caught that. I hope I did. But like Cosmo went and tried to ask Murphy if he wanted to play. So he sort of like brushes by him. He's not rude. He doesn't hang his head over him or anything. He just brushes by him and sort of like boops him in the face a little. That's Cosmo's ask. Sir. And Murphy's response was to just turn his head the other way, which is a dog way of saying no thank you. And then Cosmo just let it go, which is how that interaction should go. You have more obnoxious dogs that will start with a similar reaction or start a similar action, and then when the other dog turns away, they become more insistent and they get more in the dog's face. And that's when they're being set up for either a correction from another dog, or if that dog is a little bit reactive, it'll be more than just a correction. Keep in mind, like, if your dog growls at another dog, or even if they sort of do a snarl and snap, which is they snap in the direction of the dog, but they don't bite the dog, that's just a correction. Like, that's a correction from one dog to another. It's not being aggressive. It's not reactivity. It's how they speak. So while it might seem like scary to us, right? Like, we don't talk to each other that way. And if we do, like, you're calling the cops because there's clearly something wrong with that person, right? But for them, it's a more enforced way of saying no, right? Like, they're trying to have their no have value. And if you correct your dog when they do these things, like let's say they growl and you're like, no, stop growling, that can be really dangerous because, okay, so this is Cosmo being obnoxious and Phoebe telling him off a little, and then she checks in with me to make sure I'm watching, and then that's it, right? Very simple. That's a very subtle correction. And then you see he walks right by her and he looks, but he doesn't do anything. So, oh, now we're going to try it with Rosie. And Rosie just picked up her pace a little, looked back and was like, no. And that's the end. Okay. Kronk, can we not? Thanks. Okay. Okay, so hopefully here, so you can see like they're a little bouncier as soon as we turn around. Like all the out, go, 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 go. All the smells have been snuffed. All the things that need marking have been marked. So they're a little more open to play. Kronk, seriously, dude. Go. Go. Oh, he almost disappears in the fluff. You can see like Kronk's just really disinterested in him, which is a huge shift from what it was even like 3 weeks ago. You want to show off your foliage, Nova? I got to. Kronk, get out of there. It's a good foliage. Okay. There, you see. So Kronk tried to initiate play, Cosmo tried to initiate play. Kronk turned his head and said no, and that's the end of it. That's what it should look like. So if you have the dog that's saying no, it's kind of important that you pay attention to these, and it's such a small and subtle interaction. But if you do notice it, your dog says no and the other dog is like still trying to get in their face, step in front of your dog and break it up. Like, show your dog that you are there as a partner and you are there to help him if he's in uncomfortable situations, and you will be preventing a ton of problems down the line. And then if you're the owner of the other dog, so if your dog is the one that doesn't want to really listen to the no, like if he's pretty determined, Hamish, if he's pretty determined to play with that other dog, if they get the no and they keep pushing, it's also your job to be like, hey, that's enough. And I'm sure you would have seen me do that in tons of videos where you'll just hear a Hamish, that's enough, or Hamish, get a stick. So when Hamish was a puppy and I was walking him, terriers traditionally are very nippy. That's the way they play. That's the way they, which is fine with each other. They both get the game. But when they're playing with a dog that doesn't have that same style, very good, Archie. We've been working on resource guarding with Archie, so that was something I had to take note of. Where was I? Oh, nipping. Right. So when he was little, and he just kept nipping and kept, especially poor May, I just taught him too much, get a stick. So he would put his stick in his mouth, and then away he went. And he was no problems, right? Because I've taken the teeth out of the equation. Everybody's happy. And of course, that won't work with every dog, especially not if you've got a resource guarder or something. But I'm very quick to stomp out any resource guarding on pack walk. Like, there are certain dogs that just aren't allowed to play with sticks or toys or anything. Tucker is one of them. Murphy's another. And so we're working. And that was another interaction that was really, really subtle. And like even here, Archie wants to play, but he can't really see. Good boy. And he disengages himself, right? He doesn't really see a way that he can. And he's not sure if he wants to play with both of them, so he just walks away. And Cosmo's just happy that he finally found a way for Kronk to play. So, oh geez, and we're over the 10 minutes again. YouTube is going to be mad at me. Okay, so I hope all of that made sense. I hadn't really planned anything out, so I don't know if I talked myself in circles or something, but hopefully you learned something. And if you have any questions, you know what to do. Otherwise, I hope you guys are having a fantastic day, and we will talk to you soon. Cheers.